Thank you, colleagues. I rise in support of this measure. They say the word remember in Hebrew is zachor. What does it mean to remember? We can go way back in time and think about decades ago and what it must have been like to be a 14-year-old kid watching your mom go into a different line than you did and being told to take a shower, and suddenly your entire family's gone. Those memories get worn with time, just like the memories of people who've been enslaved or subject to genocide in this country. You tell those stories, but they almost become exotic, like some distant heritage that we have. You know, and the danger, I think, today in remembering is that we put it all in black and white, and we think this is some distant part of our history that we need to reach back to, but the survivors still walk among us. And to exoticize their lives and make those period of time, those months often, not even years, spent during the Holocaust, is to risk making all that so exceptional, and to risk their experience here in the United States and around the world being some kind of unique existence. Watching my own family and how Joshua, my father-in-law who lives with us, go about his day and go about his life in LA as a plumber. Somebody who moved to LA in the 70s, like so many other people, immigrated to this country, trying to make ends meet, put his kids through school, do the basic things, put food on the table, go about your life. But with all that history sitting in the background every day, every time you close your eyes, those memories rush back. But to live with that experience and walk around with it, and to insist on being happy, and to insist on buoyancy, insist on resilience, it's arresting. It changes the way you think about going about your day. And there are people who survived the killing fields of Cambodia who walk around our streets in LA and California, who have that same experience of watching their families go. People who immigrated from El Salvador in the 80s, watching their families gone. There's nothing, unfortunately, unique about this history of trauma. This genocide was on a different scale than we've ever seen, but let us not make the Holocaust something that's so far out of reach that it could not ever happen again, and that we can't survive from and live through with some dignity. So when you're asking yourselves, how do I remember, and how do I carry that torch? How do we survive beyond survival? How do we educate our young people when the actual witnesses are not there to testify anymore, and it's on us to do that? I would say to think about these next few years as very precious moments. There are about 15,000 survivors still living in California. About 50% of those survivors still with us, in LA, San Diego, and San Francisco in particular. 50% are living below the poverty line. So in your community, there is somebody who went through all that and worked, did some quiet job that no one ever noticed, and they never talked about the Holocaust. They served food at a diner, they worked on your plumbing, they helped take care of your kids. They did their work, just like everyone else does in this state. And now they're at the end of their life, and dignity is out of reach. Literally don't have access to food on the table, being forced into substandard living conditions in congregate care, without access to anyone on a call button to take care of them, to sit in their own diapers, in their excrement, sitting there for days, not being taken care of because we've gutted our care system. Not able to take a shower, or when COVID hits again, be sent to the yellow zone or the green zone because you're literally triggering all that trauma again. You're saying, now's the time to take a shower. Now you have to go to the green zone. Now you have to go here. People are going through that trauma and they are dying right now. And we can do something about it. We can provide care at the end of life. And I think investing in that dignity right now is the most powerful way we can remember. Because it shows that if we invest in that dignity, not just for survivors of this Holocaust, but for everyone else who does not deserve to go through a full life and end it that way after surviving so much, let's not make this remembrance a history lesson. Let's make it a commitment to what happens today. I ask for your aye vote.